Hello, I hope this video finds you well wherever you are in the world. This is the 5th day that I've committed to doing one CodingBat a night during this time of social distancing. And I've been doing Python, and I realized maybe I should just be doing both at the same time. So we're going to do Java, Warmup 1, parrotTrouble. And I'll put the other ones in a little bit later because I don't have those. So let's start by reading the problem. We have a loud talking parrot. The hour parameter is the current hour time in the range 0 to 23. We are in trouble if the parrot is talking and the hour is before 7 or after 20. Return true if we are in trouble. Okay, so now let's understand the test cases. parrotTrouble, true, meaning the parrot is talking. So there's our first parameter set to true. The hour is 6 a.m. or 600 hours, meaning we are in trouble, so it returns true. Our second case, parrotTrouble, the parrot is talking, true, and it is 700 hours, meaning that we're not in trouble, because, remember, we're only in trouble if it's before 7 or after 20. And the third example, parrotTrouble, false, meaning we're not in trouble. And notice I don't even have to look at the second parameter, because if the parrot isn't talking, we're not in trouble at all. So now let's dive in. So if you're not as familiar with Java, let's just take a really quick second and talk about some differences between Java and Python. When you have a function in Java, you have to specify the return type. So you'll notice in Python, in all those cases, they don't have a return type, but Java has to have a return type. And you have to reach a return statement. So if I hit go, right away you see missing return statement because it doesn't have a return value. If I did this in Python, I hit go, it would just run, but it would just not return anything. Also, you'll notice that the parameters have to have a type. So that first parameter is a Boolean, and the second parameter is an int. So, like I said, we're going to start with this situation, because if the parrot's not talking, we're not in trouble. So I'm going to say if talking is equivalent to false, and we are going to return false. Because if the parrot isn't talking, we are not in trouble. Now, watch this. If I hit go, I get an error. And that's because I have a return statement here, meaning that it only returns something if I get inside this if statement. So what I have to do is I have to put a return outside the if statement to make sure it runs. Now, of course, it doesn't work in a lot of cases because I'm just returning true if I don't return false. So this is our special case. Oh, that is totally the wrong language. This is our special case. And we deal with it right away. And this is a good habit to get into when you're developing some methods, is if you can deal with some special situations right away and just get your answer, just do it. So now let's deal with this situation when the parrot is talking. Because if we reach here, the parrot must be talking. So what I'm going to write here is I'm going to say, well, I'm going to write another if statement. And we know if the hour is earlier than 7 or the hour is later than 20, then we know that we're in trouble. So we're going to return true. And if we make it past here, we know that the parrot's talking, but it's between the hours of 7 and 20. So we're not in trouble, so we're going to return false. Oh, I forgot my semicolon. Too much Python. And there we go. Now, before I wrap up, I want to do two more things. The first thing I want to do is I always get comments like this saying, well, you can evaluate the Booleans differently. So I'm just going to clean a couple things up here for people that are a little more comfortable with coding. So the first thing is, if I want to check if talking is false, I can write that if not talking. So not being the exclamation mark, which just inverts the value. So if talking is true, that will invert it to false. Also, because my if statement has a single line of code, I don't need the braces. In that same situation here. When I'm working with students who are learning how to code, I always put braces with my if statements, because what happens is you can run into it avoids problems from just trying to figure that out, essentially. It's just safer. It's like water wings with swimming. And so now it still works, but it's just a little tighter in terms of the coding. So let's wrap up with, oh, again, wrong commenting language. I'm going to comment all of this out. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to actually do this in one line. Now, here's a fun little trick a student of mine showed me years ago. When you're doing in Java block comments, take your bottom block comment and put a / in front of it. Because by doing that, if you delete your top block comment, notice this turns into a comment. And it's a nice way, if you're doing a large block comment, you can leave the bottom one in there. Okay, so we're going to write one return statement, and we want to return true if we're in trouble and false if we're not. So essentially, if the parrot is talking, so we're going to say for now if talking is equal to true, and I'll simplify this after. And, well, what also has to be the situation? Well, and the hour has to be less than 7, or the hour is greater than 8. And that is the situation if I'm in trouble. Oh, what did I do there? Expected semicolon in line 17. Let me just pause and find that. How many of you saw that? Too much Python. And there we go. Oh, I have an error. That was too quick. Oh, I don't know why I put 8 there. All sorts of silly mistakes. But I'm not going to re-record this just to, to show the process that making mistakes is good for learning. And like I said, I'll just clean this up a little bit. Because that's a Boolean, I can say return talking and hour less than 7 or hour greater than 20. I hope this video helped, and please don't hesitate to send me any questions. Have a great day.